Hello and welcome to another episode of GTA Review with atheistsw, where I play and review some of the best user-generated content playable on PlayStation 4 that's most deserving of your time and attention. On this week's episode, I act like a rat trapped in a maze as a PC classic is cleverly recreated for our pleasure. I defend my quaint country town from ravenous bloodsuckers. I play bumper cars with muscle cars and share the scars to prove it. And I get in touch with my inner warrior within the dense jungles of Southeast Asia in a tribute to an all-time classic of the silver screen. I'm not a PC gamer, but I'm well aware of the massive impact the original Counter-Strike had on the genre when it was initially released over 15 years ago, originally as a fan-made mod of Valve's celebrated sci-fi shooter Half-Life, before an official version was adopted by developers Valve themselves. This fresh new perspective on the genre laid the groundwork for what would over time become the mega franchises of Call of Duty and Battlefield, with events focused on realistic scenarios and very human conflicts. And over the years the game has evolved considerably and it's garnered millions of dedicated fans, helped by its fully moddable PC-based application, such that even today it's one of the most popular game series on the planet. So it's a little surprised that some of its fans have ended up honing their creative skills within the GTA 5 creator and paying homage to their favourite shooter by recreating some of its most iconic multiplayer maps. Mr. Grandis has brought a number of these maps to the world of Grand Theft Auto 5, but it's this, his meticulous recreation of the seminal Dust 2, that is the most impressive. A tight and action-packed arena where danger lurks around every corner, and frantic shootouts take place across several intersecting paths, with the body count quickly racking up to enormous levels in large-scale encounters. This version has been remastered for the higher 30-player limit on PS4, but in all honesty it's just a little too frantic. Thanks to the small size of the arena, spawn points can become rather cluttered, and it's not unusual to be killed by a player spawning close by or behind you before you've even realised they've appeared. That said, it's not often you'll get anywhere near the maximum number of players into a lobby, and for the most part this map works really well as a team battle, doubly so when played in free aim mode, and even more authentically when you add first person to the mix, which allows for much smoother traversal of the corridor-like layout. Weapons range from shotguns, ideal for close quarters battle, to heavy machine guns, which lead to some highly entertaining standoffs between small groups of players holed up either end. Cover is plentiful, but there are multiple routes to most areas of the map, so it takes considerable awareness to avoid being caught unaware by an approaching enemy, taking advantage as you're distracted by his teammate. Due to its compact size, your game experience will vary greatly. This map is ideally suited to mid-scale team battles. Even a 4v4 provides ample action and allows for some tactical play to enter the fold, but any more than 14 or 15 players and it becomes total chaos, with blood flowing freely on both sides, and you'll find it hard to stay alive for any reasonable length of time. This is a great map that is fun whatever the conditions, but I personally recommend fixed first person and free aim for that authentic corridor shooter experience. I'm a big fan of technical racers, with a considerable portion of my misspent youth dedicated to perfecting the racing lines in games like Gran Turismo, so any GTA based racetrack requiring careful consideration of the best approach is a winner in my book. Y2JJ0853 has crafted this wonderfully engaging sports car race, Head for the Hills Dirt, through the narrow and twisting roads of the Vinewood Hills, turning an area normally best suited to racing bikes into a surprisingly suitable and very challenging four-wheeled circuit instead. Starting at the foot of the hills, you'll quickly ascend up through these hazardous residential roadways, lined either side by damaging low walls that jut out awkwardly and will seriously harm your chances of victory should you fall prey to their ways. After more than a few sweeping undulations, you'll reach a tough-as-nails hairpin to lead you onto the reservoir roadway, before the route opens up considerably for a high-speed jaunt along the glistening blacktop, with considerable skyline of the city visible in the distance. But don't dare take your eyes off the road, because as the road begins to descend, you can quickly be caught out by a left-hander that tightens cruelly, before an even tighter right-hander gives way to a terrifying descent back down to the open streets below. The bumpy and uneven nature of the path back down presents a real test of your ability to drive considerately, and excess speed is rewarded with some pretty wild crashes that can rapidly consign your vehicle to the scrap heap. Once you've safely made it back down to street level, there's a final hairpin, and then a couple of shallow right-handers to tackle before the lap is complete, and you aim to do it even faster the next time. What I like most about this race is a considerable challenge. It takes some real driving skill to keep it on the straight and narrow throughout, particularly during the uphill and downhill sections of the track, and it's a fantastic test of even the best racers' true driving ability. It's an age-old trope of film and TV to endure a dramatic final stand against a group of merciless attackers who have breached carefully cultivated boundaries and invaded the immediate surroundings of the protagonists, leaving them forced to defend their turf at all costs. And this trope has been very well taken as the basis for this Walking Dead-inspired deathmatch from James Nash, entitled Defence of Woodbury. It's an impressive recreation of the iconic Woodbury town, complete with elevated lookout points and reinforced front gates, and teams thrust into the role of townsfolk and undead invaders, albeit ones that can wield firearms. Excellent prop work creates a strong sense of place that would be familiar to any fan of the comics or TV series, and there are numerous little touches, such as the placement of Daryl's trademark hog motorcycle, that will bring a wry smile to series fans. The combination of night and rain settings creates a uniquely eerie atmosphere for the battle to unfold among, and really adds to the overall downbeat aura of the surroundings. Tight alleyways and multi-level buildings that Grapeseed Town used as the starting basis for the map are excellently propped to provide ample cover opportunities and allow for tactical gameplay to unfold as teams seek to control advantageous areas of the map, such as the central rooftops or the barricaded gates either end of the street, which act as perfect sniper nests. You start with a basic pistol, and additional weapons are in fairly short supply, so it's important to make each shot count. And this means that when you do get your hands on something more powerful, such as the shotgun or some hand grenades, that you appreciate the boost and try your best to use them as effectively as possible. The plentiful cover also assures that the sniper rifle is not overpowered, as this, combined with the darkness and lashing rain, can make picking out your target a challenge, even with the benefit of a high-powered scope to assist you. Likewise, the low-powered nature of the weapon you'll always be forced to return to creates some intense shootouts, and allows either party to limp away wounded, but breathing should things get out of hand. Teamwork is highly encouraged on this map, and decent coordination will allow groups of players to mark their territory and make it extremely difficult for the opposition forces to pin them down, and the compact boundaries of the map means this job is ideally suited to smaller scale battles between two teams who can communicate effectively. Playing out like a throwback to classic smash-ups such as Destruction Derby and Flat Out, Chaparral Muscle Dodgems by Owen Oldschool is a winning blend of high-octane rally racing and bumper-mangling crashing, a superbly designed circuit that doubles back on itself at various points, ensuring players are never too far from a piece of the intense action on offer. Thanks to a wonderful layout, this is a fun experience whether you're battling for the lead or trailing behind at the back. You only have inches away from a spectacular collision or daring passing manoeuvre on the rough and ready terrain. Played with both collisions and traffic left on as standard, it's a refreshing antidote to the usual non-contact style street races that are prevalent in GTA Online race events, a track where traded paint and last gasp near misses are a staple of the event, aided by a compact and accessible route which utilises the tricky mountainous terrain to terrific effect. The ever-unpredictable traffic affords ample opportunity for random pile-ups, while the undulating and often dangerous dirt paths are a repeated source of thrills, spills and kills. This downhill section features a nasty right-hand bend that claims plenty of victims who become trapped in the ditch, and this is just one of several areas of the track that can contribute to a major shake-up of the race standings. Each race plays out as a tight, highly competitive affair, with frequent place swapping and unexpected wipeouts occurring on a near-constant basis. Those out in front must always take extra care on the ascent back to the top, as they can be unceremoniously delayed by those bringing up the rear, and this gives trailing players perfect opportunity for revenge for past discretions later in the race, with old scores settled in destructive fashion. Of course, you can always choose not to crash into them, and this leads to some brilliant near misses and hilariously apt horn greetings as you breeze past going opposite ways. This race perfectly encapsulates the fun and random hilarity of classic banger racing and marries it to a treacherous off-road style course, with the end result being a brilliant muscle car race that's entertaining no matter how bad a driver you may well be. Prolific creator Strong Tank has brought us many high-concept death matches over time, utilising all manner of weird and wonderful locations and furnishing them with some trademark Strong madness throughout. Apocalypse Now, however, is one of his more serious offerings, an expertly crafted homage to Francis Ford Coppola's legendary Vietnam picture, repurposing the Zancudo grasslands as a grand battlefield in which all-out war is conducted amongst putrid swamps and overgrown foliage. Introducing some of the heist update vehicles into the mix helps to create an authentically chaotic environment, particularly in the early stages of the match when Valkyries roam the airspace cutting down infantry with ease, all the while trying to avoid being taken out by heavy weaponry readily available to whoever chooses to stay grounded. Although this military helicopter is extremely powerful, it's rather flimsy, and due to a lack of manoeuvrability won't last very long even with a crack pilot at the stick. This ensures that choppers don't spend the entire duration of the match terrorising the little people below, and helps the match transition into a more traditional ground-based deathmatch after the first few minutes of chaos has subsided. Weapons are placed liberally around the surroundings, and it's a credit to the design of an arena so large that players never feel lacking in the ammo department. An authentic AK-47 assault rifle is the default weapon of choice, but you'll probably want to grab something a bit more powerful, and there are MGs, sniper rifles, and even grenade launchers and RPGs in strategic locations throughout the area. The RPG is dead centre of the map, and whoever can successfully control this platform can provide a valuable service to their team and help maintain the distance between the opposing forces. Players can utilise the dense undergrowth to attempt to stealthily close in on their enemy, or a more long-distance approach can pay dividends, particularly if combined with effective team communication to keep the opposition on their toes at all times. Various insurgents are also available to help with fast reversal of the map, although unfortunately, in auto-aim settings at least, the gunner is essentially cannon fodder. He's a sitting duck up on that turret, and taking this position is almost a surefire way to die. Thankfully, there are more than enough options to kill your opponents available, and the latter stages are a fast-paced combination of running and gunning, and hide and seek. There's always at least one sniper lurking in the bushes to keep you on the move, and out of their crosshairs. This is the kind of map that screams for large player numbers. Such a wide open area is perfectly suited to intense multi-soldier showdowns, but it demands a decent turnout to ensure you get the best out of the many possibilities this job has to offer. Should you be able to get a large enough lobby going, this can provide a tremendous simulation of a naturalistic war zone, and ought to provide many epic battles on land, sea, and air. This job comes highly recommended, and is my top pick for this week. So that is just about all we have time for today. You can find the social club links to all of today's featured jobs in the section below. If you like what you just saw, then please leave a comment, share this video, and subscribe for more regular GTA 5 videos coming soon. Thank you very much for watching, and until next time, bye bye.